Good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Anywho, I had a couple of conversations that I wanted to speak about. Ascending Bonds of Consciousness. I love that title. I just love this time of being alive because a lot of us are not just alive, we're also woke. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. It's a beautiful thing. And I just want us to access the power within. And in order to do that, you need knowledge and information. If you're willing to accept the truth, knowledge and information can empower. Knowledge is power. Ooh, that's some facts right there. Okay, so I was listening to um, Young Pharaoh and Hotep Jesus, or Hotep Jesus, but it's Hotep Jesus, um, last night, and I posted that on Facebook. Very interesting conversation because even though I have been following young Pharaoh for 5 years. Ever since he, maybe, let's say 4.5, because I know it was pretty early on when I found out about young Pharaoh. And got to meet him. He's very down to earth. He is such a real, he's not about, and so many different aspects when I say that. Speaking about young Pharaoh, he's not here to be a leader. I understand that. He just happens to be a leader. I understand that as well. Um, because as Tony X said, if I'm pretty sure if you needed 10,000 people to come out and do whatever, hold it down, you can get that. Yes, most likely he could. And I'm so happy that he's off parole. Yay! So he's going to be out doing his lectures. Um, Not sure if I'm going to go to Cali though. Maybe if he's going to do something on the East Coast. I don't know. I may go to California. Yeah, I might go. I'm just looking forward to his journey. But anyway, I'm bringing all of this up to say that, it's very beautiful to be alive. It's a ascending time. A lot of us are awakening. We are releasing these bonds of attachments that I don't know why we attach to. I don't know what happened. All I know is when I was listening to Hotep Jesus today, he was on somebody's show. I don't know the guy's name, but one of the things that he spoke about is how, and young Pharaoh has referenced this too, that Africans was already here in what they call the U.S., but they was already here when Christopher came. The one Columbus that supposedly discovered America, which is, so freaking funny how how history can be his story is not completely honest. His story is just his version, and his version is leaving out some truths. That's why knowledge is very important. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of bring it around a little bit. I was watching Hotep Jesus, and he was saying how, and it really doesn't make sense. Okay, if I can, he used marijuana. Let's use sugarcane. If I can grow sugarcane here in America, right? Or on this land that was called America, if I can grow it here, and it's already here, I can grow it. It grows well here. Why would I import it? You understand? So What he was saying is that it wasn't as many Africans that were taken from Africa as they say that was transported over here. That number, I believe the number is 388,000, even though it seems as if it was over 10 million that were taken. But think about it. That number was heightened by the number that was already here, not by the ones, because remember, it doesn't really make sense to go to Africa because by the time you get back here to the Americas, half of your shipment, half of the Africans that you stole are now deceased. So why not steal the ones that are here? That I had an aha moment with that one. I had an aha moment with that one. Now Yaka, what's his name? Yaka Amos. I know Amos. I'm not sure if the other name is Yaka Amos, but I know that he is, a historian and that type of information. And even though I have purchased a couple of his books, I don't remember reading that part. But I'm pretty sure, and it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. If the Africans was just like 5 years a slave, 5 years a slave, you just taking Africans that were blacks that was already here and enslaving them. Could you imagine how many times that must have happened? Plus the Indians and Africans were already commingling here. So it just makes so much more sense now to know that it wasn't 10 million that was carried. I'm not saying it wasn't a lot, and I'm not saying a lot of us did not die during the what did they call it? Involuntary immigration. What a terminology. That his story will try to place on you. His story will try to tell you his version of the story, which is not an official, complete telling of truths. It's a partial. How could you be an invalid? You was a slave. You was a stolen slave. You was enslaved. You was stolen from your land and enslaved. Was no involuntary immigration. The hecky poo are you talking about? Anyway, but yes, I was listening to Hotep Jesus, and that's what he was saying, that and it just makes a lot of sense to me. It's like it makes a heck of a lot of sense that not that we were not stolen and enslaved and forced and chained, yes, but a lot of that happened with the Africans that was already here, on the land. Christopher didn't discover jack, diddly, or squat. Okay, and the term Indian giver is just his story, his version of the not truth. They didn't give you anything. They were more spiritual beings. And it's not my land to sell to you. This is the oneness that we have created. Oh, we have just lost our connection with our truer sense of ancestors. We are lost. We are confused, most of us. And that's why knowledge is very important. It's very, very vital that we learn some truth. Like I said, in every organization that you try to get down with, just read their bio. And don't read the updated version. Read the original version. Because that original version will have more of the truths that make you go, that's peculiar. So, and look up Marxism. Marxism. Hmm. Also, who was I listening to? I was also listening to, what's her name? Joy. It used to be Leary, but now it's just McGurry. McGurry. Yeah, and she was speaking on, um, you know, the post slavery, post traumatic slave syndrome. And it does make a lot of sense, but I'm not making um, the Caucasian out to be a victim. It's just that if I have a child and I was to uh, kill a puppy in front of the child, that probably would be something that would impact that child in a way that they may need some therapy. So, what she was saying about the whole uh, lynching process, which most of the lynchings did actually happen after slavery. Um, I'm not saying that they did not lynch us during slavery, but you're not really just going to kill your own cattle. You know what I'm saying? You're not just going to just, even though, that's just, there's so many different layers to that because they didn't just kill us. They had souvenirs and things. Who would think to do something like that? Who who thinks like that? That's where I gotta agree with young Pharaoh. It's like, there must be something in your DNA where, that's the European is the only race of people that I have worldwide known to capture animals, and then we become sick in the mind too because we begin to do it as well. We capture animals and put them in a cage as if they are our tools to. They're supposed to be out in nature, you know. This is why I don't have any house pets. I'll go outside, I'll look at the birds and the squirrels and I'll do that. I don't want to put you in my house and enslave you. I want you to be free, even though I know that we have domesticated cats and dogs. But cats and dogs will survive out in the street without us. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. But Hotep Jesus, when you get the chance, please check him out. Very intelligent young man. Peace, y'all. Love, love, love. Joy, joy, joy. And truth, truth, truth.